Hey, how you all doing? So we're going to be looking at blog posts or single posts or a post archive. It's one of those questions that crops up quite a lot, and there are so much tutorials and guidance already out there, but sometimes people still struggle a little bit with, well, how do I create a post? How do I create a template for the post? And then how do I show all my posts on a page somewhere? And can I style it a little bit different rather than just doing the same old thing? So what we're going to do is we're going to cover a lot of those features, and rather than doing individual videos, I thought I'd just do it all as one chunk. So I hope you're going to find this useful. By the way, I'm Imran Siddiq, part of Squadron, and we're here to help you out with understanding websites, Elementor Pro, and how you can make better use of it. Please do follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and do subscribe to our channel over here, and do reach out to us if you have any questions. We love to help. Okay, cool. Let's get on to it then. Right, so I've already created in WordPress 3 sample dummy posts. Let me create another one just to show you how simple it is. Now, when you're doing Elementor Pro or any type of page building or anything like that, it's very easy to kind of open a post or a page, jump into Edit with Elementor, and start doing all of your pieces to create the page of choice. You don't want to do that yet. For the post, we just want to get a post down. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to say add new for a post. And I'm going to call this post 4 because I have post 1, 2 and 3. You would give it a proper name, but I'm just going to call it post 4. And it's very easy to go edit with Elementor. And off we go and we do loads of fantastic stuff. But because of this post, because we're going to set up a template that's going to handle how this kind of looks, all you got to do here is get your content in. So I'm just going to go over here and I'm just going to type in, hello, I am Imran and Web Squadron. Yeah, okay. And I'm just going to copy that text and I'm just going to hit return and I'm going to add it in. Again, I didn't copy. Why didn't I copy? Paste, 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 paste. Okay, look, I'm not doing anything fantastical, yeah? Just like paste, 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 paste. I could, if I want over here, click the plus sign, and I'm going to just squimmy myself out the way here, pick an image. Okay, and the image we'll go for is from the media library. And how about we just go for this image here? Okay, and we hit select. Do you like my room, by the way? I've added in a bit of card. Woo! Make it all black and dark and kind of funky. It looks a bit better than the white background I had before. That's just me. Anyway, look, I've got this image here. And I'm going to set it to be center aligned. Okay, and if I want, I can actually drag. This is one of the things about, which is quite funky in the way it works. It's a bit more dynamic now in how it does things. So there you go. I'm not going to add a caption, and I'm fine with that. I'm going to go over to my second line over here. I'm going to make that in bold, like so, just this little bit here. And I'm going to go down over here, and I'm now going to click this options button here. And, sorry, not the options button. Sorry. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to change the typography of this text, and I'm going to make it medium. And I can control it as well by, very specifically 25 pixels, whatever I want. And I'm going to change the color of that font to be a dark orange. And I might set the background color to be a lovely gray. Look, there's stuff you can do. You can put a video in. You can create your page, not your page, but your post however you want. What I'm trying to show you is it doesn't just have to be a bunch of text. Oh, remove that. It doesn't just have to be text, okay? And with a few images, you can be a bit inventive with how you want to show it. Right, okay. Then the next key bit really is once you've done that, is to now just set a few parameters or things in place for your post, which will come to help you later on. If you want to set a category, so I'm just going to call this Cat 3. Okay, obviously you'd have a proper category, so pick what you want. I'm going to hit return, and this is now Cat 3. It could fall into Cat 1 as well. It's up to you how you do this, okay? Tags. If you're thinking about SEO, searchability, finding it on Google and things like that, start putting in your tags in, okay? Quite important you do that. What you then want to do is set a featured image. Now, this is quite important, okay? Because this is going to be the image that you see as a precursor or the intro to the post before you click on it. So don't leave it empty. I'm just going to go for, let's just go for this image over here. No, we'll go for this because it's me. Hello, everybody, look at me, right? Not the greatest image, I have to say. Better if you have a landscape image rather than just a square one because it won't look great. But let's just put it in just to show you that. Scroll down. Now, this is where you put an excerpt in. This is where it's a short description. Don't go over the top. Just keep it really simple. So I'm just going to put in something about Imran. Okay. Now at this point here, you can be a little bit creative. So I could put a breakpoint in. Okay. And I could put in a B for bold or strong if you want to go that way and say hello and go like that. Now, when you come to see the excerpt, by the way, it should be, I always like to keep things in lowercase, you are actually going to see that now. Hello, next line under, okay, in bold. If you want a 2-line space, add another breakpoint in. But you want to do italics or things like that, you can do. So there is some ways you can be creative with your excerpt, okay? We're going to leave that as it is. For discussion, are you going to allow comments? Now, have a good think about this. If you are going to actively moderate your blog posts, okay, to protect yourself from spam, the kind of messages you don't really want on your website, you may want to have a think about, are you going to allow comments or not, okay? If you're not keen on that and you're not great at moderation, maybe don't have comments, but have a think about your audience, who you're reaching out to, and the fact that you can't always stop someone jumping on and sticking on a very rude message or links to websites you don't want to be associated with. It does happen, so have a good think about that, okay? So excerpt, featured image, add some tags, add a category, and that's basically it. And all I'm going to do is now hit publish, okay? Publish, yeah, there we go. You can schedule, of course, so you could do about 10 blog posts and then have them coming out the day after one another at 10 a.m. every day. It's up to you how you want to do it. Fit it in with your social media and your audience and things like that. Okay, cool. So that's it. We just created a blog post. But at the moment, this is all it looks like, okay? And it's probably not exactly fitting in with your theme or the way you've created your website, okay? What we're going to do now is create a single post template. So what we do here is we go back into WordPress, okay? And we go over to templates, and we're going to go to, you can go to theme builder, save templates, however you want to do it, okay? I'm going to click add new for a new template. And I am going to pick single post. That should be quite expressive as to what we're doing here. Just because you pick that though, it can still apply to other pages as well. So we have to set a condition later on. But for now, just pick single post. And we're going to call it single post voila, or template to keep it simple. Great, template. This is where now you're going to get given lots of options. So here are lots of pre-built templates that you can use, okay? And a lot of posts I see out there where they're showing people how to do it, they tend to pick one of these and they kind of tinker with it. I kind of want to just show you from scratch, okay? How can we build it? Just so you understand some of the components. But just to let you know, if you don't want to build it from scratch, there are some really good templates here. You know, I've got to be honest, there are good templates here that you could use. You click it, and it will then automatically pick through the items from your post, okay? But we're going to create one from scratch. So we're going to click that. And we have a blank page at the moment. Of course, we've got the header and footer. Ignore that. That's just part of a template I set up earlier. In the middle of the page, okay, I could drop in the featured image. I probably did that a bit too quick. Let's just go back a step. We now have on our left-hand side, okay, lots more widgets which are above this traditional basic widgets. These are now widgets relevant to your post, okay? These have already got dynamically linked in to pick up whatever is present on your post. Remember, the featured image, the post, things like that. This is going to bring all of them through. Okay, so if I take featured image and I drop that, it's going to pick up the last post I did, which was post 4, and it's brought over the image. That's fine. That's okay. But then if I go back over here and I now want the post title, look, you see it? It's right there. You pick it up and I drop it. I will now have the post title fit underneath. I'm going to just centralize it. And now we're back into the normal realms of Elementor, okay? Styling, content, margins, blah, 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 blah. All of that, okay? You can do what you want there with that. But what if I want the title to be over the image? Well, in that case, let's get rid of the image. Because the featured image is there. There it is. We can't miss it. It's right there. Okay? What we're going to do instead, the section that now currently holds... Oh, let me just pick it up with the navigator. I hate it when it has to do that, when it conflicts a bit with the header. You pick up the section, right, that currently contains the title. I'm going to go to Style. I'm going to go to Background. Okay? And I'm going to pick an image. Now normally you would click, pick your image from your media library, change it around, whatever, and job done. But we don't want to do that. What we're going to do is down here we have the stack or the dynamic tags. The symbol also used for servers when you're doing query analyzing with SQL Server and stuff like that. We're going to click dynamic tags, and look, we have options here. Featured image, site logo, author profile pic, user profile pic. We're going to click featured image. There's the image. It's appeared. We're now going to say center. We're going to say it's a fixed, and I'm going to say no repeat, and the size will be cover. I probably do, and you can see why I picked the worst image there. Look, it's going to be all blurry and whatever, but just go with it for this example, okay? I'm now going to go over back to the section. I'm going to go to advanced, margin 00, padding, I'm going to say 150 from the top and 150 from the bottom. Okay, absolutely awful, isn't it? What am I doing? But you get the idea, okay? We're then going to go to the post title. I'm going to go to style. I'm going to set this to be a white font. I'm going to go into, I'm going to leave it as Roboto, just because it's dead simple. I'm going to set the EM to be about 6. I'm going to set the weight to be about 900. Why not? Hey? And then I'm going to go to the blend mode, and I'm just going to go for overlay. Overlay is probably not good. Let's go for multiply. No, it's not even better. Screen. We'll go for screen. Sometimes screen can work quite well for you when depending on the color of the image, but I'm just going to leave it as screen for now. Okay, do I want to add a bit of a shadow into the image? Yeah, we'll make it a slightly dark shadow there. Why is that not appearing? Why is that not appearing? Maybe I just need to add a bit of... Oh, of course! It's not appearing because I picked screen. Let's go back to normal. There we go. That's why. Duh. Okay, cool. So we've gone for an effect like that. And again, I could have gone with overlay, you know, again. But look, we'll just leave it as normal for now. So that's a way of how we've got the featured image to sit in the background of the section, okay? And it will pick up the featured image for every post. And we got the title over there as well. Now, I am not going to spend a lot of time doing the margins and padding. I just want to get you to understand how we created the template, okay? So this is not going to be in any ways perfect, okay? I'm now going to go back over here, and I'm going to pick the post title up again, and I'm just going to stick it in the middle. Imagine I have styled it, okay? I'm just going to put it in again over here. Below, I'm going to pick 2 columns, like so. So section with 2 columns. Now over here in the left-hand side, I am going to put the post content. Look, ta-da! It's got in the content as I put it in. Text, coloured text, blah, 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 whatever we got. Now I'm going to click over to the post content, and I'm going to go to typography because you don't get a lot of options here. Look, you only get style and advanced. You're missing a lot of things here. I could add a motion effect in if I want, so when you go to it, it slides in. So it doesn't have to be just a page when you open it. You can have now some effects in it as well. It's up to you. I'm just going to go in, and I'm not going to mess around with the text color because we already defined what our text colors were. I'm going to say though that this is left aligned, so we can still change it a bit, but the typography, I'm going to leave it as whatever it was, but I'm going to go to EM, and I'm going to put this as, I'm going to just change the style. So even though I set the font sizes in the post, I could keep it like that, but by me being EM 1.3, it now means that, let me just put it down to about 1.1 actually. Yeah, we'll leave it as 1.1. When we come to view it on different screen sizes, it will now adjust accordingly. So we're making it a little bit more responsive from that side of things. If you're not too fussed about that, leave it as it is. But one of the earlier videos I've done before, if you are doing fonts or text, you're better to use EM or REM rather than PX pixels, because you end up having to change it for every instance at some point. So that's just my little bit of advice for you there. So there we go. We've got our content over here. Now on the right-hand side over here, we're going to add some other content. Now we could add author box. Now at the moment, that's my author box because I've gone in under one of my email addresses and it's got my image. Now I could also add in my biography. Now I have not completed my biography on my profile yet in WordPress. Okay, so if I was to go to the author box, no, I did author box. Where has it gone? Here you go. Sorry. If you go down here, So we have the current author, profile pic we can activate or deactivate, display name, activate, deactivate. If I had a biography, so within my user profile in WordPress where I said Imran does da, 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 this is where he's from, etc., that would have appeared as well. You don't, I'm not a massive fan of the author box. I have to say, sometimes I think it's going to be a little bit better if you, you take over the author box, get rid of the display name and all of that, centralize it or whatever, and then you might want to add in something else underneath it, like the proper biography, but style it. So add the author box in again. I'm probably not explaining this very well. So I've added it in once. I'm going to add it in again, but this time I might only show the biography if I had one, and then style it a certain way and then present it a certain way. Yep. Okay. I hope that's making sense. And I know I'm not doing that very well, but I'm just showing you that option is there. What we then can do as well is you can add your post comments. Now, post comments, I'm just putting it here for now. There is no comment at the moment. Leave a reply. You wouldn't have it here. You would actually have it down here, maybe as a single column or a double column or whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to get rid of this. I just want to show you how you can do it, okay? Post info, I find this one, it depends. Do you really want to show this or not? Okay, I don't always like to show this, the date, the time, blah, blah, blah. And again, you can get rid of info here, by the way. Where this can be useful, though, let's take the time one, right? Instead of having time, I could have custom. And in here, you could actually add in a shortcode over here. Let me do that again. So I came in, changed it to custom, and I've gone over to the dynamic tags, and you could have a link as well. But I could also add in a shortcode. So I could add in a button that I've built as a template somewhere else in Elementor, and then add in the shortcode. So you could have like me. You'd have some biography underneath me, and then you could literally have see more info, and it could be a page which is a dedicated page just about me, for instance, or maybe you've got 5 or 6 authors on your website that are continuously contributing, and you want to give them their special space where they can talk about themselves. So you don't have to stick to just these options that you have here. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Now, jing, jing, jing. There we go. Okay, cool. Right. So what we can also do hold on. Yeah. So you can add the post excerpt in as well. I don't know why you'd want to do this. I mean, look, do you remember I did the hello in bold? Look, there it is. Hello. Next line down, and it's in bold. So it shows how you can be quite funky with your excerpts as well. It doesn't have to be just plain text. Let's get rid of that as well. I might as well just stay over here, shouldn't I? Because I keep moving left and right, giving myself dizziness. Okay, table of contents, I find that one a bit pointless, but the right hand side can be where you start to add in further info. And what I'm going to show you though is look, you can increase and decrease it as well, so you can have a bigger space for your post. And don't forget, when you do your section for this, decide if it's going to be full width or boxed, and how big is the boxed width, and obviously your responsiveness in your mobile. Make sure you go down here. Go to mobile mode, 378 for if you want to set it for the minimum iPhone XR sizing, and after that, everything else is gravy. Make sure you style it properly. Don't just go, don't assume it's going to look good. Always take the time to do it right. But where the right-hand side can become really good is we use Elementor theme massively, okay? You don't get the sidebar in Hello. You can add one in, but if you're not too keen on coding, this is where you can add in your own sidebar. Now, we've seen what we get with the post widgets. But if we go to social, we have share buttons. I'm going to drop that in, okay? And I'm going to add in another item, and I'm just going to pick, let's go for, look, we've got loads of options here. Telegram, WhatsApp, email, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Where's Instagram gone? I'm sure Instagram used to be on here, or am I thinking incorrectly? I'm probably thinking incorrectly now. But anyway, we're going to do, let me just check. No, we're going to pick WhatsApp, okay? So what you can now do is have social share icons. These are the icons where when you click it, or the user clicks it, it will share your post or page or whatever to their social media account. Okay, so this is all about free advertising, marketing. Okay, you don't want to just always put on the links to yourself. I mean, of course, underneath my name, I could have put on, I could have done, social icons like so. you know, and then put them in circle, minimize them, whatever. I'm just showing you, you could have said, put a note here or a text that says follow me. But then you could also have a text here that says share. Let's just do that just so you understand what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do. I'm just stating the obvious here, right? So I could add something in like this. And obviously you're going to style it, aren't you? You're going to say share, put it under that. Like, come on. You know what I'm talking about here. Follow me, social sharing icons, share. Then you have some more icons. And you can style this as well. Oh my God, here we go. We go over here now. So we can style this. So we can say that it's going to be square, rounded, circular, for instance, like that. Put it in the center like that. Mess around with the colors, gradient, minimal frame. Look, I'm not focusing on the social sharing icons, but I want to make sure you appreciate and you're happy with how they work, okay? There is a reason why I'm doing all this, by the way, okay? Just bear with me on this, okay? Right, what I'm then going to do over here with this column, I'm just going to go to the advanced, and I am going to give it some left margin of about 40. That was probably too much. 30. There we go. So we just get a bit of breathing space with the right left-hand side. Okay. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a bit of padding as well on the right and left. So I'm going to say 5 and 5. And again, that's probably too much, isn't it? There we go. Like that. And again, for this right-hand side, okay, I'm just going to go over to style. I'm going to go to border. And I'm going to say solid border, and it's going to be a faint grey line, and it's only going to be on the left-hand side. And I'm just going to put it in as a 1. It might even be a 2. No, we'll do it as a 1. And I'm going to make this a little bit grey, like darker actually, just so you can actually see it. So look, let me just show you this right now as I just move myself out of the way. Okay, look, page, featured image, fixed background, title, I haven't done all the margins and paddings. Don't shout at me, okay? Here I am. Right, okay, and then we got like our stuff on the right-hand side. And obviously down here, we could add in like when we come to create the post archive or the page that contains all the posts, okay, you could add that back in over here as well, or an archive list, etc., so that people can see what your previous posts were and things like that. But one of the main reasons I wanted to show you this was at the moment, as you scroll up and down, imagine this post was massive, okay? All of the info here disappears as you scroll up. Yeah, can you see that? What we're going to do instead, though, is add in an inner section. Don't go crazy with inner sections, right? We're going to add in an inner section. And I'm going to get rid of that and just have one column. I'm going to go back to this inner section, and I'm going to say make it full width, no gap, minimum height, just, whatever, like that. So at the moment, it's taking up the full space of column 2. What is the purpose of it? Let's now add into it all of these little things that we had in before. I don't think I even added that in properly, did I? There we go. No, let me do it properly with Navigator, because sometimes, right, I'm probably not doing this right. So we got the inner section, we got column, author box. We're going to add the header in as well. There we go. And we're going to add the social button as well. There we go. And just move that header there, like that. Okay, cool. Phew. Finally, I got there. Okay, cool. Right. So they are all now within the inner section. Right. Now, if I go back to that inner section and I go to advanced and I go to motion effects.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Sorry. That's my phone. Right. I'm going to go to my, that's thrown me now. Go to my inner section. Okay. I'm going to set it to be sticky top. Okay, now look, when I scroll, it sticks to the top like so. But what I'm going to do is I'm also going to say stay in column. So what's going to happen is it stays in the column. Okay, because if I do this, right, can you see there? It will always stay at the top. And even after I get to the next item or the next section below, it's always going to stay at the top, which is going to look really odd. But if you do stay in column, right, look, it stays there, but the minute you move now where you're coming on to the next section below, which I know is empty, okay, but when you come on to the next section below, then that item there is going to slowly move out of view. So it's a really good way of how you can get items to stay on the page. Now, obviously, that looks rubbish, okay, because it's like it's right up there. It's going over the header. But don't worry about that. This is where we're just going to set the offset. And I think it's going to be about 80. Yeah, I'm not too far off actually. It's about 85. 85, there we go. I'm going to hit publish on that for now. No, don't do publish yet. So now when you scroll, it sticks to the top, but it doesn't go over the header. And as I'm reading my post, it's still there. And eventually when I get to the end of the post and you move on to the next section, which might be a full banner, it now does not sit there covering the banner. So that's a really cool way of using sticky columns out of Elementor. Obviously at the bottom now here, this is where you could add in your comment section. This is where you could add in read more. You could add in now 3 or 4 the next post that you want people to take interest in. Contact for, whatever you want. Okay, you can add in and stylize this. Just bear in mind though, this will be repeated for every single post. Okay, well, kind of every single post. What we're going to now do is click publish. And this is where we get asked to add our condition. Add condition now says all singular. Now, this is where you need to have a think, okay? All singular could repeat this onto all pages. I only want this to go on the posts, okay? So I only want this to go on the post, but I want it to be every post. But what if I want this to only be on posts that are category 1 and category 4? Well, then I could do in category, and down here I could then say cat, and it's now going to tell me the categories, and I could pick the categories. So you could have a different template for different categories. What? You knew all this. But I'm going to just go for all posts at the moment, okay? And Element Brain says, you have set this for other templates. Yeah, no, I know about that. I had another template before, but that's when I was testing this a while ago, but I've deleted that. Anyway, look, save and close. Okay, so cool. So this has now been set for our single posts. Cool. Right, let's now, we won't test it out just yet, okay? So what we're going to do now is just going to go back over to WP Admin. I'm just going to go over to templates for a quick second, go to trash, and I'm going to get rid of one of these posts in my trash. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I think I had it there. There you go. Single page like, no, it's not there. Where is it? Single post. Ah, here it is. Look. So here's the one. There you go. Let me get rid of that one. There we go. Because that could have been a big problem if I didn't get rid of that. Right? Right. Okay, so single post template. Right. Now I'm going to go over to pages. There are many ways you can do this. You can create another template for post archive, but I'm just going to show you how you do it with a page, okay? I'm going to click add page, okay? And I'm going to call this page blog. Blog. That is it, okay? And I'm going to hit edit with Elementor. In this page, I am going to go to settings and I'm going to get rid of the title because I don't want the title. I'm going to go over here now and pick a widget and I'm going to type in post. And the one I want is post. That one there. It doesn't look like what you would use for your blog archive. It looks more like a list of icons, like an icon list, but that's the one you want. Posts. I then drop this in. Instantly, we get our post. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and look, there's our excerpts. Something about Imran. Breakpoint. Hello. How are you doing? Okay, cool. Right. So I'm now going to go over here. Bear in mind that, make sure you style it. So I might say, make it as a 1000, boxed width, however you want to do it. We're going to click on the post now. We have classic. We have cards, which looks like this with my picture. You can get rid of the picture, by the way, okay? If you don't want to have the author picture, you can get rid of the avatar. All right, don't think, oh my God, I don't like that. We can also have full content. Careful of that one, unless you definitely want to show the full content. If you've got, it depends on your style and what you're going for. I tend to just go for the classic because I quite like that look of it, okay? And you can mess around with how many columns you're going to have. 4 columns, 2 columns, define how you want it. You can set it for the tablet and the mobile as well. We'll just go for 3 for now. Image position, top, left, right, however you want to do it. We'll leave it as a top. You can set your image size as well and mess around with the ratio of that. Like, look, hello. A lot of people forget that you can do this, okay? So we'll just have it something like that. Your image width as well, I would say just leave it as 100%. But again, style it how you want. Do your titles. Are you going to have the number of comments shown on there? You're going to have the date shown on there, your metas. Define what you want to have on here, okay? The read more button, do you want it to jump to a new window so they still have their other window open? Again, have a think about that. Or do you want it just to take them to the post from when they click on it? Now then, the query. This is the one that I think is really, really good. Now, in posts, okay, if I scroll down here, at the minute it says date. Do you want it to only show your past day, your past week, your past year, or custom date? We'll go for all. Order by. At the minute it's ordering it by the date, but it's doing it in descending. No, that way. No, hold on. Get me finger. Descending order, and we want it to go into. No, that way. God, I've got to get my fingers right. Ascending order, like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say ascending. So now it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Have a think about that. You can also do title, menu order. It's up to you. Most people tend to go with date order. And I would probably say you would actually want to go with date descending. You always want your latest post to be the very first one at the top. You don't want to have the one done 4 years ago showing as the very first one, especially if we've got too many pages. And, if we go back to layout, at the moment, this has 3 columns and it will show 6 posts. I could change this to 10, which then means that I will have my first 30 on that page, and then you'll have see more. You click it, takes you to another page, and then you'll have the next 30 and the next 30, and it goes on and on and on and on like that. Pretty simple. We can go to style, and I can style this as well. And again, look, you can start to mess around with the column gap, the row gaps, all of this, the image, the content, the color, the shading. You know the drill, okay? And look, you can even be a bit creative with this. So I can go into the background. I can say I'm going to give this some padding of about 20 all the way around. And I'm now going to go into the style, and I'm going to give this a background color or an image or an overlay, whatever you want to do, have a think about it. You can do whatever you want with this, okay? And it's so simple and beautiful to use. I love it. We're now going to publish it. Right, that is now published. Okay, so this would be my blog page. Okay, I'm now going to just copy this for a moment. Okay, I'm copying this. I'm going to go over to WP admin. Okay, by the way, let me just add it in so I'm doing this. Let's go to menus. Okay, and let's just add blog to our menu because this is just a test website. Okay, or my experimental website, which I use for doing videos for you guys, because I love you guys all right? And thank you so much for everyone who subscribes and follows as well. We love it. And by the way, I get about 15-20 friend requests a day on Facebook. I would love to be all your friends, but the trouble is my friend's profile, my profile is my personal account with my close family and friends, and I share a lot of stuff about my son and all of that on there. So don't be annoyed if I don't be your friend. But you can still talk to me. You can still follow me. We can still converse. You can still message me, okay? I am not a stranger, okay? Subscribe as well. Keep in touch. We love to talk. We love to help you out. I love to help you out. Okay, so I've added the blog post, which is the blog page. Now, let me just go back to my home page, which was home page over here. And I go to edit with Elementor. I copied the blog, that post bit, didn't I? I'm going to go down here. Okay, and above this section here, open your mind and play with the elements. I'm going to click plus, and I'm just going to add in another section. And in fact, I'm just going to give this a bit of spacing from the top and bottom. Go for about 50 and 50 from the bottom as well. I think that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. Now I'm going to go over here, okay, and I'm going to now change this to be 3. So this is only ever now going to show you the 3 posts that I want you to see. Okay, I'm going to go to style. In fact, I'm just going to go to box, and I'm going to give this some border radius as well of about 25. There we go. So we just give it a bit of radius there. Like so. Obviously, because of the ratio, you're not fully seeing it. So have a play. In fact, let's just leave that as it is. Yeah, let's not mess around with that. Okay, cool. So, pardon. Yeah, right. So what we have now, ignore the colors, ignore the font, okay? It doesn't match what I've got at the moment, but I'm just showing you how this works. So after I've done the blog post page, okay, I can now copy this and I can add this anywhere on my website. I could have 1 post, 2 posts, 3 posts. We are going to now just do something a little bit different with this. But before I do that, I'm just going to hit update and we're going to do a preview of this page. All right, so let's just scroll down and we get our blog post. You would probably have a title that says our latest posts, our latest news, find out what we're up to. Things like that. You might not even want to show the read more button. You can unhide that or hide it in the post widget, while we're doing that. And you could have a read more button here. So it directly takes them to the blog page or whatever you want. And by the way, don't forget, look, we've got a blog page over here as well. And it now takes me to the blog page. Let's just go back to home. No, because I've been messing around with my menus and all that. That home page is the wrong home page now. But anyway, stay with me, right? Let's now go into this post. There we go. Look at that. There it is. And look, and there we have our menu. We our right sidebar, and it sticks to the top. It's not out of view. It's there. It's wonderful. Let's go back a step. Let's go to post 2. Look, we have an image going all the way across. We got the title. You don't have to repeat the title. All right, you don't have to. But if you did an overlay and the title wasn't fully clear what you were seeing, you might want to consider that. But again, look, we've got images, text, how I did it in the post in WordPress. Okay, it's coming through as I did it. And look, we got our bit of info over here. Okay, you can share and do whatever you want with it. Okay, so look, this is a bigger post, and look, I don't move. I stay there, frozen in time, staring at you, getting into your mindset, trying to find out why you are still here, because you're learning, right? Okay, cool. So we know this works. Brilliant. Okay, now, last thing I want to show you about this is that you don't have to just have your post presented in this way. You can be very, very creative, okay, without having to get another plugin like Elementor skins or whatever it's called, or, you know, card lists or things like that. You don't have to do that. You can if you want. I've got nothing against them, but I want to show you what you can do here. So we got a post here, right? Let me just duplicate this. So I've got another column. Let me move myself out of the way over here. Now let's go over here. Right, so let's just delete the content there. Let's now go over to this post here, right? Let's go to content, okay? Whoop. And we are now going to say one column, and we are only going to show one post. Now, because we set this to be descending order, your latest post is always going to be there, okay? You can't miss it. It's always going to be there, right? In fact, let's just get rid of the excerpt. Okay, we'll leave the read more button and style it how you want, okay? Go with whatever you want there, right? Now, on the right-hand side, okay, over here, I'm going to copy this and paste it. Well, what's the point of that? We now got 2 of the latest posts. Do you love yourself so much you want to stare at yourself? Why does my nose look like that? You know, I think that's about right. Anyway, okay, so I'm now going to go over here, right, to this post, and I am now going to say, show me 2 posts, right? So we've got post 4 and post 3. But here's the trick. Go over to query and then click the exclude tab, right? So this is how it looked when you go to query, include, go to exclude, right? And here we have offset. When I click 1, it is offset by 1. It is still date descending, but now it is offset by 1. So look, we now have post 3 and 4 over here. And if I now go to layout and I start to, you know, mess around with the image ratio and, like, you know, I go, nah, like something like that maybe. Okay, look, come on, that looks awful, doesn't it? Be honest here, that looks really bad. But I'm just trying to show you how we can do it. In fact, let's go over here and let's increase the image. No, let's go over to this one. Let's increase the, oh, come on, guys. This one, I want this one. Let's increase the image ratio to be something like so, like that, right? Let's then go over here to this one. Have I clicked it? Make sure I've clicked it. Let's just decrease the image ratio to be something like, get your ruler out and make sure you get it spot on, right? But I'm just going to go with that for now. Okay, right, okay. And then what we have is we now have post 1, post the next one afterward, the next one after that down there. But look, there's more. There is so much more. Look, I'm now going to make a duplicate of this section, right? I'm going to duplicate the section. I'm now going to just swap these over like so. I'm going to go over to this post. I'm going to go back to my query. And I am now going to say offset by 1, 2, 3. So now we have post 1. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting my fingers mixed up, but do you get the idea, right? Now let me go back over to this section here and delete it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add in text editor. And I'm just going to pop in some ludicrous text. I don't care. All right, blah, 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 blah. I could add in a video, I could add in an image, I could add in a accordion. I can do whatever I want to do. Okay, right, so let me now just go over here. Let me just shrink that top to be about 20. Let's just do something like that. There we go. 20. No, it's because of this one. Let's just drop that one to be 20 as well. There we go. So now let me publish that, right? And I'm going to hide myself. So goodbye for a moment, okay? Like that. Can you see my hand? I'm still here. Right. Let's now just go to preview of this page. Look. What? We've got our blog posts there, but we're now showing them in a slightly different way. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, I would probably actually say that we could have swapped this over, but you could add in 3 columns and have lots of different content, and then you're showing your blog post on your homepage, so you don't have to just show your latest 3 posts in a certain way. For the blog page, I would say don't go crazy like that doing this. You can do if you want, mess around with your layout, because I am just trying to get a point over here that, look, I could duplicate this. This is now looking a bit silly in a way, but like, look, does it make sense what I'm doing here? Look, I'm just trying to show you how you could use the offset and different ways of presenting back your blog post. So it doesn't have to just be the traditional, normal way of showing it. And you're not having to get any extra other plugins or templates in to do it. We can now start presenting our posts in a such more of a funkier way, right? I mean, what's not to love about that? I mean, of course, bear in mind, where things can start to look out of place. So think very carefully about your placement, your margins, your paddings, and all of that, okay? Think very carefully, but you can be really, really clever with how you present stuff out. So I'm going to stop there because I think I've covered up a pretty decent amount there in terms of posts. Like, so you create your posts, you save it, you don't edit with Elementor, okay, you get your items in, featured posts, tags, categories, things like that. You create your single post template, you then deploy that to be just for posts or particular categories, so you could have different templates for different categories. You create your blog page, you pick up your post once you've built it once, and then you deploy it how you want throughout your website. I hope that's really, really useful. Look, don't forget, follow us, subscribe, please like and subscribe. We want to hear more from you. Please do comment and take care and see you soon.